Good afternoon, Ironbarkers. There's no one in the playground. It's Friday afternoon. We've finished our week of learning and hopefully you at home have stopped and you're going to have a rest for a couple of days. That's going to be quite hard for us, I think, because we can get back on our devices on Saturday, we can get on them on Sunday, we can engage in some of these learning activities, but it's important that we have a bit of a rest. It's important that all of us mums and dads as well, all our carers out there, it's important that we all have a bit of a rest, switch off for a couple of days. We'll be back on Monday. We've got a 4-day week next week and we've got things like our Anzac Day service and we'll be putting up an Easter hat parade. So a reminder to make a hat this weekend. That'll be something a little bit more fun. So if you're, whether you're celebrating the crazy hair and crazy hats or Easter hats and those sorts of things, then yeah, have some fun with that. Email those things into the school email address. And if you can get them in by Tuesday, we'll be able to pop them all into a slideshow ready to release to you guys on Thursday as our virtual Easter hat parade. So I just wanted to say that look, teachers are working hard, and I know that the kids are all working hard in their classes and things are going really well. But we know that you as parents, you're not teachers, and we know that a number of you are feeling under a bit of stress. So I just wanted to say, don't stress. Just do what you can during the week when you're there with your kids. Whatever they can accomplish is great, engaging in the learning in whatever way they can. And something I'm noticing is the amount of independence that's coming out of our kids in ways that we hadn't seen before. They're having to manage themselves. They're having to be self-reliant. They're having to keep their focus during the day and during those sessions when you can't be interrupted, when you're busy working as well. So just keep that in mind. We need to be realistic. You're not a teacher and you don't do this every day, and we're not expecting that from you. So please don't get stressed. Whatever you can get done is great. I am really impressed looking at some of the videos through stage 2 this week as they've been playing with some video conferencing through the Microsoft Teams, looking at the way kids are set up at home with their workspaces, the way that they are, as I said, managing themselves and uploading work into the platforms is just fantastic to see. The routines that they're getting into at home as well. And that's an important part of school, and when it's at home, it's difficult to maintain those routines, but I think you're doing a wonderful job. I'm going to throw to a few of our assistant principals and one of our teaching teams. They're going to talk a little bit about specifically each team, but I wanted to talk at the end about this teleconferencing, this video conferencing that we're setting up now for our stage 3 kids. They'll trial a little bit next week, late in the week, and then looking into next term, we might try to toy with it with our kindergarten, year 1 and year 2 students, but I'll talk a bit more about that in a minute. So I'm going to throw over to Mr Campbell.
It's the end of another big week for Stage 1 at Ironbark Ridge Public School, our first full week of online learning. We wanted to say thank you, boys and girls, so much for engaging with the platform. Thank you for uploading your work. It's been wonderful to see the work that you have been putting up, and great for us as teachers to engage with you through those comments. A quick message for the parents as well. We also wanted to say thank you to you for all the hard work you've done in supporting your kids and supporting the teachers through this transition into online learning. Don't forget that we are here for you, and the message is still just do what you can. If you are finding the work too much, that's okay. Do what's available to you. Do what you can do. You don't need to do everything. We realise that it's a really stressful time for families as well. But again, thank you so much for all the hard work this week. We are so excited to still be here with you, still engaging with you in this online platform. And we are geared up and ready to go for week 11. We will see you then.
Good afternoon, everyone. Stage 2 teachers have been amazed with the students' huge participation in all their learning activities. Students have been showing their growth mindset when technical issues arise, as we've all been doing that, and they've been doing amazing. Just remember, we're all on this learning journey together, so keep persisting. You're doing an amazing job.
Hello everyone. We also just want to remind you guys that we are trying to make things as simple and as familiar as possible for the kids. So we are going to try and trial reading group setting kind of meetings coming into the next week and heading into term 2. Obviously these aren't going to be perfect straight up, but we'd just love to see the kids' faces in a small group setting and start to do a bit of reading with them as well. Okay.
Hi everyone. So as you would have been aware of, the teachers have been participating in live chats with the students every day. We are loving seeing their faces and having that time to check in with them all and answer any questions that they may have.
And we just want to remind parents that with the assignments that it's not something that is being graded or marked to go towards anything in particular. It's just how we're setting up the educational tasks for the students at the moment on this platform. So please don't stress about completing absolutely everything or having it all done in one day or going back to past assignments that haven't been done just yet. Go through it with your children and see what they're confident in taking on their own, what they might need some help with, but also we just want to see them attempting the work as well. We don't finish everything in class every day, so don't feel like everything needs to be 100% completed, and we hope that it becomes a little less stressful and familiar for you all.
Hi, my name is Jenny Mccarthy. I'm the Assistant Principal on Stage 3 and I'm so excited to be chatting to you about the wonderful job your students or your kids are doing on our online platforms. They're really engaging in the technology in a positive way. They're turning in lessons that are getting better and better in quality all the time. And the teachers are so impressed with all the successful learner habits the kids are displaying. Their ability to collaborate online, to chat to each other and give each other support when needed in the caring way that they do that. And also the way that they have been able to think critically and creatively if something has gone wrong with them. Two of the things we'd encourage the kids to do is make sure they're pressing that blue button to turn things in every day. The other thing is that if kids are finding things difficult, make sure that you give them the chance to think for themselves. How could you solve that? So that they're actually, reading the questions above that some of the kids have asked the same question 10 times before, or finding answers for themselves or being a problem solver themselves. So although there's lots of kids doing a great job at that, it's something that we'd encourage for all of our students so they can develop their lifelong learning skills. When the students have an assignment on Google Classroom, I know some of them are getting stressed because they're not having it in by that 3 p.m. due date or 5 p.m. due time. It doesn't matter. It is just a way for us to have an upload capacity so the kids can upload and turn in their assignments to us. We understand that there's different people on the computers or the home computers or different times of the day. We do encourage you to set up a working time from 9 to 3 if you can, but that's not always possible and we understand that. So there is no issues if they cannot turn something in by 3 p.m. What's ahead? Really exciting times. The department have allowed us to do something called Zoom to video conference with our students. So the teachers and I will be testing that out early next week and we're really hoping by Tuesday or Wednesday we'll be online chatting to our kids and being able to see their smiling faces again because I know we're all missing them. Thanks a lot. Bye.
So I'm back inside in our staff room, Ironbark Ridge, and I just wanted to give you a message for our early stage 1 students, for our kindergarten students. And I suppose it starts by just saying that we as teachers have also moved into a time when some of our staff are working from home and we've got a roster which will mean that on some of the days your child's teacher may not be working from here on the school site, but just like you probably will be working with their kids and juggling things in their home. And I know that Mrs Sexton was at home today, and so she's not here to present a message about how kindergarten early stage 1 students are going. But I gave her a call on the phone and she's let me know that she's just so proud of the way the students are engaging with the learning activities. They're having a go at a whole range of different things, having a lot of fun from what she can see, and the teachers are just getting such joy out of seeing the faces of their students through photos that are being uploaded to Seesaw, through little videos, through comments that some of you parents are making on the student work as it is being submitted. So that's a nice little connection with you guys as well, and she just wanted to express her sincere thanks to you as the parents of our kindergarten students, because you'd know, kindergarten parents, you'd know that this is a different game for such little people. To be engaged in a classroom with a teacher who can be like that Pied Piper, who can be the mother duck, who can be the orchestrator of what's going on in that room and juggle those children, it's a massively difficult skill, and I'm sure you're having trouble at times just juggling one little one or maybe 2 little ones. We know what a wonderful job our kindergarten teachers do here, and they're so thankful that you're able to be there for their students at home and help them to engage, help them to have a go at some of these tasks. So thank you from Mrs Sexton and the whole kindergarten team for your involvement there. Kindergarten parents, I suppose my point as a parent with a year 8 and a year 10 daughter, that's so long ago, and I miss it so much. And you only get this opportunity with your students at that age once. So it's a wonderful privilege, really, in some ways for you, if you are able to not be too stressed, but actually sit down alongside and play with and be a part of that learning journey that's only just begun less than a term ago for your little kindergarten students. So well done to all of you. And this is a strange way to be welcomed into Ironbark Ridge, but you're such important members of our community now. So now some information about video conferencing, because it is a tool that we are looking to use more and more as we move forward into this learning from home process. And we're going to need your support as parents, as carers, because our students will be in a new environment. An online video conference environment is a very uncontrolled environment, and we do have our concerns around confidentiality. We'll be looking into your homes. Other students will be looking into your homes through this conferencing software, and so we need to make sure that we've set up the environment that your child is sitting in very well. It should be in a room where they can close the door. After you've helped them set that up, it's a conference for the students, not a conference for the parents. And that's really important, the same way that you say goodbye to your students at the front gate of our school. Being at school is an independent time for them. This is a growing up time. This is fantastic for their development as people. And we need to continue that with this online video conferencing environment as well. So please support us in setting these things up. Support your youngest students in their behaviours and things around that to start with. But then release control and allow them to be independent within these situations with their peers and with their teachers. Set up that environment such that they can be sitting with nothing in the background, nothing to distract, very close to a wall so no one can walk across behind, so that they can hear easily without other noises in the room that they're in. So think about that. Read through the guidelines that we're sending home. We need you to discuss those with your children and help them to understand the sorts of behaviours that we're talking about. Because those guidelines are a broader thing. They're about online learning. They do include a paragraph about video conferencing that's quite specific. But the broader context of online learning is a new behaviour set for our students to develop. And we're doing teaching around those sorts of things from here already, in terms of the way students are chatting, in terms of the way they come into the classroom, even the Google Classroom without video in the morning, but just will type a message, "I'm here." And that's not the way we'd walk into a classroom. We wouldn't walk in and just call out across all the other students who are quietly learning that you're here. Okay, so we need to think about those sorts of things, and we need to help our students to think about what is appropriate. What are the sorts of behaviours that are going to help learning? And so read through the guidelines with them this weekend. Talk about those sorts of things. There's a nice poster at the end that's developed in terms of our 3 expectations about being safe, being responsible, and being a respectful learner. And look at those behaviours that are in those columns. How do we be safe when we're in an online environment? How do we be safe when we're in a video conference? How do we be respectful around others? This is perhaps something all of us could gain something from in terms of social media. How are we responsible with our behaviours in these places? So work through that stuff with your students. It's very important that we work in partnership on these things. As I said, there's questions around confidentiality. There's questions around that less controlled environment. There are some questions about the security of the Zoom platform, but I've been assured by the department that with the particular setup, it is quite locked down. There is no facility to record or anything like that. But we know that there are tools on the internet that can assist people to do these things. So to close it down as much to keep that distraction away, and to make sure that we help each other with these sorts of issues around the use of video conferencing. So we'll ask our students to be a part of that agreement, and for you to be a part of agreeing to enforce those things at home. Because again, it's us in a remote way. You are our arms and you are our enforcers in this respect, and to work with your children around that agreement. And if things do need to be done, we'll be on the phone to you and we'll have a conversation about how we can bring those behaviours back into line to help learning to occur, because that's our number one focus. Helping our students connect with their teachers, our students connect with their peers, to keep that sense of a class going, to keep our sense of Ironbark Ridge going, and to keep moving students forward on their learning journey towards that personal growth, towards being inspired and to be growing into the sorts of citizens that we want our Ironbarkers to become in the end. So we look forward to working with you on this one, but it is a different thing for us. So please be on guard and help us with this process. Now have a great weekend. Enjoy the holidays when they do come up. I'll talk to you next week in a final video, just outlining some more things going into next term. But just to let you know, we will be having a holiday for 2 weeks. So we will be shutting down some of our platforms. We'll be archiving classes for a couple of weeks. We don't want you and your children to be involved in work during what should be 2 weeks of downtime, relaxing time before we come back into what we think will still be a remote learning, our learning from home type of experience going right into term 2. So thank you for your time and have a great weekend. Bye-bye.